Did you ever know how cruel Benito Mussolini and Adolf Hitler were during their reigns that changed the world forever, causing war, suffering, and many lost lives? But what would happen if this man had never been a leader or never existed in the history of war? Would this world be safe and peaceful? Benito Mussolini, born on July 29, 1883, in Predapio, Italy, was the eldest of 3 children in a working-class family. His father, Alessandro Mussolini, was a blacksmith with strong socialist beliefs, and his mother, Rosa Maltoni, was a school teacher. Mussolini developed an early interest in radical ideologies in a politically charged environment. As a young man, he was rebellious and often involved in fights, gaining a reputation as a troublemaker. Despite earning a teaching diploma in 1901 and briefly working as an elementary school teacher, he became disillusioned and moved to Switzerland in 1902 to avoid military service. There, he worked various jobs, including as a stonemason and journalist, while getting involved in socialist politics. Mussolini rose to prominence through his involvement in socialist and revolutionary activities. He became an outspoken journalist who edited socialist newspapers and promoted anti-establishment views. By 1912, he had gained prominence within the Italian Socialist Party PSI as the editor of its official newspaper, Avanti. But his support for Italy's involvement in World War I led to a split with the PSI, and he was expelled from the party. After the war, Italy faced economic hardships, social unrest, and a weak government. Mussolini took advantage of the widespread dissatisfaction by founding the fascist movement in 1919, which promoted nationalism, anti-communism, and the revival of Italy's greatness. He gained significant support through propaganda, violent tactics by his paramilitary blackshirts, and promises to restore order and pride in Italy. In 1922, during political chaos, Mussolini and his followers staged the March on Rome, a demonstration of fascist power. Fearing civil war, King Victor Emmanuel III invited Mussolini to form a government, making him prime minister. By 1925, Mussolini had dismantled democratic institutions and established a dictatorship. As the leader of Italy, Mussolini created a totalitarian regime where the fascist party controlled all aspects of life. He aimed to create a strong, centralized state with himself as the supreme leader, known as Il Duce. Mussolini promoted industrialization, infrastructure development, and aggressive nationalism while trying to revive the Roman Empire's glory by expanding Italy's influence through military conquests, such as the invasion of Ethiopia in 1935. His regime was marked by censorship, political repression, and the suppression of opposition enforced by a secret police force called OVRA. Mussolini also aligned Italy with Nazi Germany, forming the Axis powers during World War II. Still, his leadership during the war was marked by military failures that led to Italy's defeat. Mussolini is remembered as one of history's most infamous dictators for founding and leading the fascist movement, which influenced other totalitarian regimes, including Nazi Germany. His aggressive foreign policies, oppressive domestic rule, and alliance with Adolf Hitler contributed to the devastation of World War II. Mussolini's legacy is one of authoritarianism, imperial ambition, and the dangers of unchecked power. He was overthrown in 1943, captured by Italian partisans in 1945, and executed, ending his brutal regime. Adolf Hitler, born on April 20, 1889, in Braunau am Inn, a small town in Austria-Hungary, now Austria, was the fourth of 6 children born to Alois Hitler and Clara Palzel. He had a difficult relationship with his strict and authoritarian father, but was deeply attached to his more nurturing mother. Although he showed early interest in art, his repeated rejection by the Academy of Fine Arts Vienna led to frustration and a sense of failure, especially after his mother died in 1907 when he moved to Vienna, where he struggled to make a living by working odd jobs, including as a laborer and painter, while selling his artwork on the streets, living in poverty, and staying in homeless shelters and men's hostels, during which time he developed many of the ideas, including intense German nationalism and deep-seated anti-Semitism, that would later shape his political views. After serving as a soldier in the German army during World War I, where Germany's defeat in 1918 and the harsh conditions of the Treaty of Versailles left the country in economic and political turmoil, Hitler joined the German Workers' Party DAP in 1919, which later became the National Socialist German Workers' Party NSDAP, or Nazi Party, and his powerful oratory skills, ability to connect with the frustrations of the German people. Propaganda techniques made him a prominent figure within the party, leading to his becoming the leader of the Nazi Party in 1921, where he was chosen as a leader because he promised to restore Germany to its former glory. Blaming Jews, communists, and the Treaty of Versailles for the country's problems and his ability to mobilize mass support, combined with the weaknesses of the Weimar Republic, helped him gain power. In 1933, Hitler was appointed Chancellor of Germany. By 1934, he had consolidated power and declared himself Führer, or Supreme Leader, establishing a totalitarian regime where the Nazi Party controlled all aspects of life in Germany, implementing policies of aggressive nationalism, anti-Semitism, and militarization, including the enactment of the Nuremberg Laws, which stripped Jews of their rights and laid the groundwork for the Holocaust. The systematic genocide of 6 million Jews and millions of others during World War II, and he also pursued an expansionist foreign policy, leading to the invasion of Poland in 1939 and the start of World War II, earning the title of the most famous dictator in history due to his role in initiating World War II, which caused the deaths of tens of millions of people, and his orchestration of the Holocaust. One of the most horrific genocides in human history, as his brutal and oppressive regime, driven by extreme ideologies of racial purity and German superiority, left a devastating impact on Europe and the world, making his legacy one of destruction and inhumanity, and a symbol of evil and tyranny in modern history.